Broadcasting from the Superbook Sports Studios, KDUS AM 1060 Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
This is Carefree, Arizona Mayor John Crane. You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, hosted by Carefree's favorite son, Vince DeLisio, who was just awarded Carefree's Man of the Year and given the key to the city. Oops, I just perjured myself.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
This program is made possible by Friends of the Varsity Media Foundation,
a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization.
You are listening
to the Varsity Sports Show.
You are listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona.
On AM 1060 KDUS Arizona.
Still the home of youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show. And now,
welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio, high atop the roof at Bottle and Bean Coffee House here in beautiful downtown Ocotillo. I didn't even know there was a town called Ocotillo, but Ocotillo in Chandler. And it's a special show. You heard that intro. That was the song "Get Back" by the Beatles when they performed Rooftop in London. What was seen as their final live appearance, and so hopefully this isn't our final live appearance. But I'm joined today by an old friend of mine, guy I've known forever. He is literally one of the great. He doesn't like it when I say this. One of the greatest people that I know. His name is Nathan LeDuc. He's like Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy wrapped up in one. It's Nathan LeDuc, Sun Devil Hall of Famer, arguably one of the all-time greatest multi-sport athletes in Arizona high school history. How does that feel to hear that, Nathan, particularly from someone like me? You said, what are we going to talk about the first segment? And I said, I don't know, and here we go.
Don't talk about me. I don't want to talk about me.
Oh, come on. This is quite an experience. I am, we're up here. First of all, big thank you to big time, and I say this with a smile every time, but big time ASU athletic supporter Spike Lawrence and his dad Knapp. Knapp's name was on the building, for God's sake, over there at the athletic building in the stadium. But Spike owns this whole strip mall, and Spike, I think, is still sleeping. I don't know, but hopefully he'll come out, and he and his dad will be here soon. But he invited us out here. He said the rooftop is open. Feel free, and here we are. And it's just a beautiful morning here in Metro Phoenix area, in the Valley of the Sun. Nathan, you grew up here. Can you see yourself living anywhere else
than Arizona?
Yeah.
Probably not. I mean, I love it here. It's a wonderful place to raise a family. I know that we have our weather challenges in the summer, but I love the heat and I love the sun. I was just talking about that with my old college roommate this morning. We were talking about how great the sun is, and even though it's hot, it's energizing, and it makes you feel positive. And as he was just up in Seattle last week for a business meeting, he walked away after 3 days of being there, slightly depressed, being in Seattle, and Arizona is wonderful. Ocotillo is such a beautiful area. I told you earlier, this is the place where my wife and I bought our first house, and so I could literally, well, if I actually had an arm, I could probably throw a rock to where our house was, but it's such an awesome area, and Spike's done such a great job of developing this little center here, and I don't know that he owns all of it. He's developed it, but I think he has ownership in a number of these businesses here, and he's just done such a great job of developing lots of projects, and he's doing another one right now down in Old Chandler, and we can talk with him more about that once he gets up here. But
sure. I can't wait. It'll be fun. We're going to talk about some of the projects and the partnership even that the Lawrence family has had with ASU and particularly Sun Devil Athletics through the years. So, I mean, they are, I don't know if he'll admit to it, but Sun Devil sports royalty because of the support through the years and all the names that have come through year in and year out and the opportunities that they've helped to create by all the work that they did. And they put their money where their mouth is in that they all attended ASU. And so Spike is an ASU. You and Spike were roommates. Are we going to get any stories about when you guys were roommates?
Well, we weren't roommates, but we lived in the same dorms, which was the Choya dormitory, which now has been bulldozed down, and they're doing something different now.
Okay.
And I did see an article or some sort of a post on Facebook when it was going down, and somebody had made the comment, if only these walls could talk. Right?
Well, maybe we'll get some of those stories today. What do you think?
Well, Spike certainly has a lot of stories.
Yeah,
I don't know that if he's going to air his laundry out.
He's a good storyteller. Well, that I can't wait. Today is, in essence, it's almost like this. Today's like Nathan LeDuc Day on our show. I mean, no, listen, the people that we have, we've got our regular segments and some of our amazing contributors and our team that are providing content today that you're going to hear that we do. Arizona high school highlights, the some of the other reports that we're doing. It's Dylan, the NAIA sports report, some of the live stuff that we're doing. We're going to have Thunderbird baseball coach Nathan. You were a heck of a baseball player at a time way back when. You spent some time at Grand Canyon, didn't you? Didn't you play? Weren't you on the team at Grand Canyon? What was that experience all about? Why'd you do that?
Well, I had been drafted out of high school.
Yeah.
I played my senior year at Alhambra.
Right.
And that was at the request of Ron Scott, who you know quite well.
Oh, yeah.
He was the offensive coordinator for our football team, and he was the head baseball coach, and he told me that there was interest in me from the pro scouts in the area, and so I went out for baseball.
I think he made that up.
He probably did.
Yeah, okay.
It was a little bit of a circus. Just about every game, there was probably 30 scouts, and they're clicking their stopwatches every time you take a step, and I don't even know all the things that they're measuring or trying to measure, but I was an okay baseball player, but that.
Yeah, but then so you played college.
So I went on. I got drafted by the Cardinals, and then after I got released by the Cardinals, I still actually had, and that was in 1991.
Okay.
That I went into camp. Got released by them. I still had 1 year of college eligibility remaining because I never redshirted in football, and so I had 1 year to play any other sport. So I enrolled at Grand Canyon to try and extend my baseball opportunity. Wow. And that's tough because Grand Canyon at the time was, I think it still is, but it's a Division I.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Baseball, and we played a massive schedule. I mean, we played against Wichita State and Oklahoma State.
What
ASU,
position did you play?
I played center field.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, it was tough. I mean, having not had tons of experience in baseball and then trying to take on that type of a schedule, it was intermittently positive.
Okay, so you made it through the season, and I mean...
And then I went back to football.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah, and you were... there's a little bit of history there. I mean, you were I think you were... When I remember, you were the very first player that the Arizona Rattlers ever signed, I think, right? Isn't that in the history books?
Yeah, that was in 1992.
Okay.
It was Brian Colangelo. The Colangelos own the Suns, and they also own Phoenix Arena Sports, and the Arizona Rattlers fell under that umbrella. And so I remember getting called into his office one summer day, and he said, "Hey, we're going to have this arena football team. I want you to be, on the team." And I guess, from a trivia standpoint, I'm the first official Rattler player. And
it's amazing. You're like anytime they do any of those movies where guys want to go out and give it a shot and they've been away from the game or whatever, you're like the Dennis Quaid that comes in and steps in that with all these young guys around you. I mean, but anyway, so that's it's I remember seeing you play back then. So.
Oh, you're that young, huh?
I mean, I was a kid. I think I took the bus to get there. But anyway, so no, that is awesome. But your kids probably don't realize this. And you did not redshirt at ASU. You played all 4 years. You started 4 years. You were played in the secondary. You played hurt a lot of times. You had an interception return, I think, against University of Pacific that was like. It was like a 90-some-odd yard return. I mean, north-south, but when all was said and done, you ran like 822 yards on that one return.
It was Colorado State.
Oh, Colorado State. There you go.
Fourth quarter, I think it was the 15th play of the drive. It was 107 degrees out at 7:30 kickoff.
Wow.
And so we were on the tail end of this drive, and they were – Colorado State is actually I don't know. I think Scooter Melander played there the year prior. But anyway,
okay.
I was trying to piece all these Arizona guys together, but
yeah.
He was there the year prior. So the guy threw the ball down into the red zone, and I picked it off right on the 8-yard line. In my mind, I was physically tired.
Yeah.
And so I started to go to the sideline, and that's kind of what we've always been coached to do. If you make an interception, get to the sideline and do not turn the ball over again, right? And so I went to the sideline and kind of this conservative thought process, and in my mind I was like, you know what? Forget that, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and do something here. So.
Did you stiff arm Scooter after when you intercepted his pass?
No, I cut back across the field laterally, making no advancement down the field, and I started getting these massive blocks from Brett Wallerstedt, and I think Darren Woodson and Kevin Minifield were there as well. But there was this massive,
just a wall.
Take that guy off his feet, block, and I got around the corner there, and at the 50-yard line, I was completely out of energy, and Darren Woodson and Kevin Minifield kind of escorted and almost carried me into the end zone. Everybody, when we watched the film the next day, and you see the whole field, every player was on the one side of the 50, and Kevin and Darren and I were on the other side. They had all stopped running. They were walking, and they were taking their helmets off. They were like, "Forget you guys." I think I watched that game on TV, and I think I got up, I went to the bathroom, and then I got like something to drink, made some popcorn, and came back, and you were still running. That return. So it was like, wow. Anyway, no, it was a slight exaggeration. Very slight.
Maybe I didn't make popcorn, but I did everything else. So, but and you're such a non-assuming guy, Nathan. You've done all these great things and been around, just these amazing programs and these amazing people, and you've done. I mean, your name's in the history books in a lot of different things, I even think like you're one of Richard Obert's best friends, aren't you? Because he wrote a lot about you back then.
Hey, I feel like I owe Richard a lot. He's been writing positive things about me for like 40 years.
Yeah, wow.
And so I love Richard, and I feel fortunate to be here, and I'm actually looking forward to later on in the show here. Now as I'm getting older, all I do is work and provide for my family, and I volunteer out at ALA, and probably one of the best humans that I've met in Ty Detmer is the head coach there.
Yeah,
he's the real life Ted Lasso.
It'll be a lot of fun. We got a special gift for him. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun show, and I'm honored to have this friendship with you. And I mean, we have a lot of our roots are the same, except yours are more, much more athletic than mine. You look at me and you're like, there's no way this guy, But yeah, whatever. Anyway, but we have fun, guys. When we come back from the break, we are going to kick off our show. We're going to be joined for the Desert Mountain Wolves baseball report. We're going to be joined by JV baseball coach Kai Davis. This week we've got a partnership with Desert Mountain, and we cover a lot of their baseball games. And this week we did a JV game. It was definitely different, and it was fun. And we're going to have Coach Davis on, guys. When we come back from the break here on the Varsity Sports Show, hey, there's Nap Lawrence. Stick around, guys. We'll be right back. Go Varsity.
Tune in weekdays to the Sports Zone with Bob Kemp from 9 to 10 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060, KDUS1060.com, and with the KDUS 1060 app.
Hey everyone, I'm Caleb Wiley. I'm from the LA area, and I study sports journalism at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at ASU. From being the sports editor at my high school to being a broadcast reporter for Cronkite News, I like to say I bring a nice versatility to the show. Whether it's in front of the camera or behind the scenes, can't wait to bring you guys high school sports content on the Varsity Sports Show. See you guys there.
Training Better Athletes was founded by renowned football coach Ron Sowers with the philosophy of training well-rounded young people in mind and body. TBA is the go-to for middle schoolers through the pros. Coach Sowers has worked with all sports but specializes in football offensive and defensive line skills training. Whether it's one-on-one or group training, reach out to Coach Sowers at trainingbetterAthletes.com or call him at 602-435-9064. You can't cheat the grind.
Hi, my name is Jacob Seaver with the Varsity Sports Show, and I am currently a sophomore at Arizona State University's Walter Cronkite School for Journalism and Mass Communication. I am excited to be on the mic this year and looking forward to bringing you some of the best high school and JUCO content that the world has to offer. Definitely looking forward to seeing you and for you to hear me on the Varsity Sports Show.
Have you downloaded the KDUS AM 1060 skill for Alexa yet?
Dude, Alexa is frustrated. No matter how many times do you ask, the answer is male, chicken.
Once you're ready, say Alexa, open KDUS AM 1060 to listen to your favorite shows.
It's Desert Mountain Wolves baseball with Coach Ryan Dyer on the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona. Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona. Vince DeLisio joined today by my special co-host, Nathan LeDuc. Yes, the Nathan LeDuc, Sun Devil Hall of Famer. You always laugh when I do that. Why do you just?
I don't know.
Just take it, enjoy it. You've earned it.
Okay.
It could be worse. I could be saying bad things about you. And we're also joined by Mr. Knapp Lawrence, who ASU history. He's got an entourage of bodyguards here as well. Yeah. So anyway, and we're joined on the line for the Desert Mountain Baseball Report. It's not Coach Ryan Dyer. It's actually Coach Kai Davis, the head JV baseball coach out at Desert Mountain. Good morning, Coach Davis.
Hi, guys. How's it going today?
Good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I just bright and sunny day out here. I'm coaching one of our travel teams. So
you had mentioned. Well, you mentioned to me when we set this up that I'm doing a lot of coaching on Saturday morning, and so I'll step away and see if we can get this done. So, Coach, we appreciate you joining us, and we had the honor and the privilege to broadcast one of your games this week. And tell us about your season so far. It looks like you guys are 4-2 right now.
Yeah, it's been great, man. Honestly, it was a team I saw a lot of as a freshman when they were all together last year. And I talked with our freshman coach quite a bit, but just a good group of kids. They work well together. They're just all honestly good friends. They work hard together. They get the job done, and it's been a fun season so far, man. They find ways to kind of get in there and make the game interesting. Sometimes we've had a couple errors, so they were doing it in the wrong direction, but they all learn from their mistakes, and it's been so fun pretty much this whole season.
It's Desert Mountain's an interesting place because there's a wealth of talent year in and year out there, and I know it could be because I coached different levels as well through the years. I was a freshman coach, a junior varsity coach, a varsity coach. Varsity gets all the attention, obviously, a lot of the time. But you're a developmental league for the varsity program. Coach Dyer might say, you know what, that kid looks pretty good. And watching some of your games, I'm going to take him for the next game. I mean, how is that? Has it been like that a lot? Has he come by and cherry pick a lot of your key kids, or have you been able to build a nice core?
I've been able to, but for me, honestly, too, and Ryan's done a good job of kind of helping me out as a coach over these years. But, it's really all about the kids, man. And honestly, how it goes with JV, I'm just trying to develop them into being a varsity guy, and they know with me, too. I'll even say, and I feel bad for varsity kids, but I'll tell them, we're not going for a spot on varsity. We're trying to be starter, take a spot. So,
Yeah.
We're working the best we can with them. Dyer and I, we talk honestly every day. We both work in the schools during the day, too, so we're always having talks about different kids developmentally and kind of see what they're ready for. But it's been fun. There's a good amount of talent, so I'm really lucky for that. But,
Yeah.
It's some good work and good kids that want to put that work in all year.
So real quickly, Coach Davis, we're joined. Knapp, can you hear okay here with the headset? Okay, so we're joined. Coach Davis he's the JV baseball coach at Desert Mountain. Desert Mountain produces it's a baseball factory out there. And do you got a pitch for Coach Davis? So maybe if he's got some kids that he wants to send out to ASU, Knapp.
I'll tell you what, I'm not an expert on all sports. But by the time they pick the all-state team, I'll know who the good players are.
Okay, right. There you go. So, all right. Well, Coach Davis, thanks so much for joining us this morning. We wish you luck the rest of the season, and we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys for having me.
All right. Aaron, take it away.
Good luck, Coach.
He's back again, DYLAN. Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show segment. It's Dylan, featuring Dylan and highlighting his latest adventures. This segment is brought to you by Chris Scott of Remax Key Properties in Bend, Oregon. Now it's time to grab your snacks, turn your volume up as you tune into It's Dylan on the Varsity Sports Show. Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show segment. It's Dylan. I'm your host, Sabrina. And of course, I'm here with none other than Dylan. Dylan, how are you doing?
I'm great, Sabrina. How are you doing?
Good. I'm good. Dylan, it's been getting warmer. What are you looking forward to as it's getting a little bit warmer?
This time of the school year, we're outside a lot for PE, which is, it's almost as too hot to some kids, and we try to keep it balanced. Me personally, I love the mornings because now I can start getting up and hiking. It's getting lighter earlier, and it doesn't have to be the 40-degree early crack of dawn or pitch black darkness anymore. Trying to get up and get outside. So lots of those types of things. And then obviously being outdoors as much as possible on the weekends.
Do you prefer the Arizona winter and spring, or do you prefer like the Arizona summer and fall more so?
I like it when it's mild. I don't mind the heat. Anybody that lives here obviously knows you're in AC. If you're lucky, you're in AC, and that when you're working, you're in AC when you're home, you're in AC when you're in your car. So, I grew up with no AC in cars, and it was tough to find air conditioning growing up. But it's really just up to the person. Stay hydrated, because if once you start seeing black spots or just feeling lightheaded and things like that, it's a little too late. Like any hydration tip, you just want to make sure that you're getting your amounts of water during the day. And, we've always told our athletes in coaching, stay away from the soda pop and the chips and things that are going to drain you out. And that's the same advice I would give anybody that's going to go on a bike ride or even a morning walk or hike in our heat. If you're the food you had the night before is not the best, you might want to take a little while longer to hydrate up and get some nice nutritious fruits and veggies in your system before you head out.
Yeah, and so my last question for you is going to be, when you think of it getting warm, what is the first thing that you think of?
Wow. If we're talking vacation, I love oceans, any lake. I love water period. So lakes, rivers, oceans, obviously going to the ocean in California, you get a little cooler, but then you also spend a little bit more money. You can always go down to Rocky Point, but you're dealing with the same temperature. So you're by the pool, you're in the ocean, but it's still the intense, desert heat. Getting up north or even getting to a lake and spending a day on the lake, you can jump in to cool off, and the nights are generally a little cooler right there. But really during the summertime vacations, getting up to the Northwest or just north anywhere where, temperatures are going to drop, you can still enjoy the day and do all the hiking, the biking, the walking, the outdoor activities. And then at night you can even cover up, and if you're camping and that too. So I love the summertime, and I love different parts of the country for different reasons. If we're talking just strictly Arizona, getting up north is always good, or just hitting a piece of water somewhere is pretty nice too.
All right, Dylan, Thank you so much again for being here. I really do appreciate it.
Have a good one.
And thank you to you for tuning into It's Dylan on the Varsity Sports Show.
Hello, sports fan, as you're listening to the NIA Sports Report coming from Varsity Sports. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Varsity Sports Show. I'm your host, Brandon Tran. This week, I'll be recapping Benedictine's Mesa's volleyball team along with Benedictine's baseball team. The volleyball team just won their CalPAC tournament as they're 24-3 and 12-0 in the CalPAC conference, as they'll be waiting for their opponent for the NAIA tournament as they're coming off a 3-set win over UC Merced in the semis, along with beating Westcliff in the CalPAC conference final 3-0, led by Landon Fuller's 15 kills and Daxton Tolman 36 assists. The win will keep the Redhawks head coach undefeated in the CalPAC conference during his 3-year tenure as the Redhawks head coach, as that win will make it 21 wins in a row. Moving on to Benedictine baseball team. They're currently 25-7, 10-0 in the CalPAC conference. They started off 3-7 as they went on an amazing 22-game winning streak after losing 6 in a row as they're coming off a sweep over Embry-Riddle, beating them 8-4, 10-9, and 8-4. And with that second game of the series having to come back, being down 9-5, as being down to their last out, Jack Fitzgerald tied the game with an RBI single, with Anthony Centino walking it off with an RBI single to help the Redhawks win 10-9. As Coach Brian McCabe walks through the key of sweeping Embry-Riddle and turnaround of the season.
We didn't panic. We knew we were facing some very good programs across the country, but you could tell with the guys, they were a little shocked. We had high expectations, and we just made them understood the team goals, the individual goals that we've set for ourselves were all still achievable, whether we were 3-7, 10-0, 0-10, but nothing ended our goals at that point.
That's all I have for this week for the Varsity Sports Show, and I hope to see you all next week.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show here on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Thank you, Brandon Tran, with the NAIA Sports Report. And I'm joined rooftop by Nap Lawrence, longtime ASU athletics booster and fan of the Arizona universities in general, but in particular, obviously, who we kid in ASU. I mean, you were around. You were around when Frank Cush was hired. For gosh sakes,
yes, I was.
You were a kid back then.
When I came out of Eloy High School, I couldn't decide between ASU or University of Arizona because I liked them both.
Yeah.
And I was from Illinois, but had been for 2 years in Eloy, Arizona.
Okay.
And what determined me going to ASU, because Eloy's right in the middle.
Sure.
It's an hour to each school. That was before I-10 was there. And ASU won that game 57-0 in 1957.
Wow.
Then in 58, when I graduated, there was no way I was going south.
Yeah.
And I've had fun watching the growth of the university, and now we're about as large as any university and have as many alumni as any school in the United States.
Nathan, what does Nap Lawrence mean to you?
Well, look, from when I was there at ASU, it was 1987 to 1990, and I remember that, it was hard because I spent a ton of time in the weight room, and the weight room had Nap's name on it. And so Nap was generous enough to donate the money to make the weight room. That was back in 1987. That was state of the art.
Sure.
And so I saw Nap's name every day. I also was a roommate of a guy named Scott Woodford, who was really good friends with Spike, and Nap.
Yeah.
Nap knows him, and he's almost like a son to Nap as well. And so I had a close relationship with the Lawrence family. And but anyway, every time I walked in that weight room and saw his name, I had a ton of gratitude for just people's, and especially Nap's, desire and his ability to be able to donate like that and to support, the betterment of just people in general.
Guys, when we come back from the break, we are going to be joined by Thunderbird High School head baseball coach Mike Jacobs for the Thunderbird Baseball Report, and we're joined rooftop here at Bottle and Bean in Chandler. Here he is, Spike Lawrence, the man, the myth. with his dad, Knapp, and Nathan Leduc here on the Varsity Sports Show. Guys, go nowhere. It is All-Star Saturday, and maybe even a Nathan Leduc roast. We'll be back after the break. Go Varsity.
We'll do what's best for the team, and we'll do what's best for you.
The Rich Eisen Show, coming to you weekdays from 3 to 5 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and KDUS1060.com.
Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com.
Hello, sports fans. This is Dick Stockton, and you are listening to Arizona's home of youth, high school, college, and you, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona.
It's game time, and we're here to win. Hi, I'm Sabrina Giles. I'm a senior at ASU and studying at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications, with my major being sports journalism. I'm excited to announce that this spring I will be working with the Varsity Sports Show to bring you any and all things sports. From commentary to broadcast, I'll be working to cover your favorite teams and make my mark on the world of sports journalism.
Hello, my name is Hannah Pettiferry, and I am currently a student at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications here at Arizona State University. I am beyond excited to be joining the Varsity Sports Show this spring. Growing up, I have always played sports, and now I cannot wait to be able to study, analyze, and commentate on the sports that are being played this season in Arizona.
James Out West brings NFL, NBA, MLB, and local sports talk to you Monday night starting at 7 on KDUS AM 1060 and the KDUS 1060 app.
Tighten up with Thunderbird Titans Baseball on Varsity Sports Show AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. And now, here's Titans coach Mike Jacobs.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show here on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. We're just having a little party here on the rooftop of Bottle and Bean in Chandler, Wine and Coffee House. What a great combination, apparently, that is.
Yeah, all of my needs, morning, noon, and night.
That's right. Dude, joined by Spike Lawrence, Knapp Lawrence, his dad, and the man that needs no introduction, Nathan Leduc. Nathan, you're just...
Is that your phone?
Is that your phone, for God's sake?
Dad,
it's not mine. And on the line for the Thunderbird Titan Baseball Report, we are joined by longtime baseball coach Mike Jacobs out at Thunderbird. Coach Jacobs, how are you, sir?
Hey, guys. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Coach, we're having a great morning out here. We're joined. I hope you're a fan of the ASU Sun Devils because this is just a Sun Devil Saturday here. So,
well, I love it. Actually, a quick story. My grandfather was actually the original Sparky at ASU, Dick Jacobs.
Wow. Nice. Yeah. Okay. Oh, interesting. Well, Coach, let's talk a little bit about. I'm sure your grandfather had some stories about those days back then, but. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about your program. You guys have had some nice wins over the last week here. How are you doing?
I probably got a few new gray hairs from the last week or so. We've taken on the name the Cardiac Kids, so I guess that's a good thing. But we're winning ball games. We're finding ways to win late in the season here and early on in the year. We were struggling to pull out wins, so it's an improvement, and we're developing the way we want to be.
the term walk-off for you guys, we've had to say it more than once this season. I mean, you had to win a real tight victory against Paradise Honors, which is turning into a nice rivalry for you, and then another tight one against Dysart, and then you had a little bit more of a cushion against Moon Valley. I mean, tell us, in particular over the last week, how that's gone, and if it's been the same kids that have been responding each game, or if you had some different role players stepping up.
I think after coming off our spring break tournament, we kind of solidified who, our 10, 11, 12 guys that are going to be rotating in, and when guys come in to pitch, where they'll be ending up. And over the week, we finished last week with a good game against Paradise Honors, and like you mentioned, a good rivalry. We played them tight. They had their great sophomore Nicolini on the mound when we faced them. But they also had to see our guy Noah Anderson. So great game, but we walked them off in that one when you guys were here. And then Dysart, a well-coached team. Actually, my father, Coach Jacobs, who is a longtime coach at Maryville High School, Coach Carlton at Dysart, so we knew they were going to be well-coached. They got some good young players. We're able to pull the victory out in that one as well. And then yesterday, like you mentioned, we jumped out on an early lead. So it was a good week for us and a tough week going into the next one with Deer Valley starting Monday.
What would your dad? What years was he at Maryvale approximately? Like around what era?
He started there in the early '80s. He was a varsity basketball coach in the '80s, and then he retired in like 2006. So he was there with Felipe Sparks, Darren Woodson, the Frank Garcias at the time, and he coached football as well.
Did he ever wake up with a cold sweat as they were game planning for Alhambra back then?
I don't think they had to worry too much back then.
Oh wow, okay, because there was a certain quarterback back then by the name of Leduc that was used to give some programs fits. But
they weren't too bad, but at that time Maryville was probably more worried about the east side schools and the Mason schools than most of the west side ones. So
yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, you're 100% right
pride
about
of
that.
The west
so.
side.
That's it. So, Coach, in looking at Deer Valley, strengths and weaknesses, what do you see in them?
Well, they're going to come out with their guy on the mound. He's well rested, so we know we're going to have a tough battle at the plate. So really, just making sure we're situationally strong, playing good defense. They're going to see our number one as well. So we're excited for a good game. Definitely well coached by Coach Rice over there. So those are always tough teams. To play. They're gonna do the little things well, and that's just where we're gonna have to go out and make sure that we're shored up on our defense. And with our guy on the mound, Noah Anderson, it should be a good game for us.
All right, Coach Mike Jacobs, Thunderbird High School, the Titans. Thanks again, Coach. We'll talk to you next week.
Appreciate you guys. Talk to you soon.
All right.
It's more than just a game. Sit back and relax for a global overview of sports and sports cultures, games around the globe, and coverage of countries worldwide. Welcome to Around the Globe with Maya Denise Gaskin. Good morning, Arizona. This is your host, Maya Denise Gaskin, with another segment of Around the Globe. In this week's episode, we'll be taking a look at two stories that have been making headlines across the globe. First off, European Super League has been causing quite a stir. 12 of Europe's biggest and wealthiest clubs announced plans to break away from the UEFA Champions League and form their own competition. The announcement had caused widespread criticism from fans, players, and officials alike, with many accusing the clubs of greed and a lack of regard for the sport's traditions. The backlash was so intense that within 48 hours, all 6 English clubs involved had withdrawn from the Super League, followed by Inter Milan and Atletico Madrid. The project now appears to be dead in the water, but the fallout from this controversy is likely to have far-reaching implications for the future of European football. Our second story takes us to the world of tennis, where the clay court season is in full swing. One player who's been making waves is Stefanos Tsitsipas, the Greek star who recently won the Monte Carlo Masters. Tsitsipas has been incredible this season, also having won the ATP Cup and the Marseille Open earlier this year. He's now firmly established himself as one of the top players in the world, and many are tipping him as a future Grand Slam champion. However, the road to success has not been easy for him. He has spoken candidly about his struggles with mental health and the pressures of the professional circuit. His success is not just a testament to his skills on the court, but also his resilience and determination in the face of adversity. That's all the time we have today, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Varsity Sports Show, the Around the Globe segment. I'm your host, Maya Denise Gaskin, on KDUS 1060. And until next week, have a beautiful day.
Hello, sports fans. It's Jacob Seaver back here for your weekly segment. And as the MLB season gets started with opening day happening just last week, I am excited to bring you a brief update and recap of what's been going on early in this MLB season. All right, first kicking things off in St. Louis, rookie outfielder Jordan Walker so far off to a tear, hitting .300 so far on the young season with 7 hits, including his first home run hit on Wednesday. Jordan Walker, the young kid out of Decatur High School in Atlanta, Georgia, I actually had the chance to face off against him in my high school career playing for Maynard Jackson High School in Atlanta, Georgia. Hopefully he continues his tear in the major leagues. Staying in the National League, the Atlanta Braves are off to a good start on their season. Really, their entire offense off to a good start, including a sweep against the Cardinals that finished up on Wednesday. Their pitching could use a little bit of help as they lost Max Fried to a hamstring injury on opening day, sending him to the IL. In the American League, the Rays made history with their 6-0 start, becoming the first team in the modern era to win all 6 of their first games, led by players like Randy Arozarena and Wander Franco. The Yankees, Guardians, Twins, and Angels are also off to great starts in this young MLB season. The Angels actually making headlines with Shohei Ohtani becoming the first player to receive a violation on both sides of a pitch clock as both a pitcher and the hitter. So far, it's been an interesting young season, but again, just like all of you MLB fans out there, I am very excited to see where this season takes us, especially as we continue to see the impact of these new rules that were implemented this season. Thank you once again for tuning in. I'm Jacob Seaver. Be sure to join us next time.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, live from the rooftop at in downtown Ocotillo, joined by Spike Lawrence, his dad, Knapp, longtime ASU athletics boosters, and I can't say supporters, athletic supporter, and keep a straight face. I do that every time. And Nathan LeDuc, and, of course, Nathan, and everything growing up was, of course, it's Nathan, but anyway, Nathan. Nathan's an old friend of mine. Well, we give him a hard time. Guys, I have a question for you. First of all, Spike, you said downtown Ocotillo. Is Ocotillo an actual city?
It's not.
Okay.
It's not. We're in beautiful Chandler.
Yeah.
And we developed a mixed-use development here downtown Ocotillo. So it's our downtown for Ocotillo's master plan community.
Okay.
We're Chandler, though.
Okay. All right. Because that confused me. When you threw me off, I thought, you named your own city here. It's just, but you could. You probably could. Yeah.
We're in Chandler.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Knapp, are you proud of your son?
What do you think?
No. I've asked you plenty of times if I could be your son, but are you proud of this guy? Yeah.
I made the biggest mistake in my life.
Yeah.
When he was almost 5 years old, I took him on a tractor, and it was an open tractor, no cab, and he fell off.
Oh.
And I was too concerned with grabbing him so he didn't hit the ground that I didn't hit the clutch and stop it, and the front blades of a disc ran over him and buried him.
Oh, my gosh.
And I had to back it off. It wasn't a hydraulic tractor.
Yeah.
And only the clods of mud kept him from bleeding to death.
Wow.
And because of that, I've had a guilt complex and probably overcoached him his entire life. But he went on every business call with me. He knew every part of my dark life and light life.
It's actually a great technique. If you can survive a tractor accident, run over by a disc,
You can leverage that.
Oh my
to
God!
the fullest,
It just
Spike, and
makes you
and
tougher.
have. I mean, you've done a great job.
Were you helping to negotiate some of his deals? Were you wearing like 3-piece suits back then?
Oh yeah,
Spike?
he had me dressed up. Absolutely.
Yes. Oh man. All right, guys. When we come back from the break, we're just having fun here today. We are going to have some segments from our talented broadcast intern team. Olivia Herzberg will be back giving us an overview of all things sports. We've got the Arizona High School highlights with Sebastian Mundaka joining us. Of course, our talented Cronkite ASU broadcast team under the radar with Caleb Wiley. And then, of course, the JUCO Sports Report with Jodeci Ariana live again from downtown Ocotillo here in Chandler at Bottle and Bean Wine and Coffee Bar with Nathan Leduc, Knapp Lawrence, and Spike Lawrence. We'll be back right after the break.
Carving out time in your afternoon for the Doug Gottlieb Show right here on KDUS AM 1060, 100.7 HD2, and KDUS1060.com. Weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m.
The Varsity Sports Show is proud to partner with SaberCat Athletics. That's right, the Scottsdale Saguaro SaberCats are on the Varsity Sports Show. Join the varsity team as we cover the Cats during the SaberCat Report on Saturday morning's Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, featuring players, coaches, and commentary. Look out for live stream coverage of Saguaro SaberCat sporting events by going to YouTube and searching for Varsity Sports Show, then click that subscribe button to stay up to date. The Saguaro SaberCats are here. Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com. Chris Scott of RE/MAX is Central Oregon's best realtor for anyone thinking of a vacation home or relocation. He's our very own born and raised Phoenician who moved his family to Central Oregon nearly 15 years ago. Contact Chris if you're thinking of exploring beautiful Central Oregon. It truly is living at its best. 541-999-5614. Proud partner of the Varsity Sports Shows, it's Dylan. Coaches, the Varsity Sports Show wants to be part of your team in 2023. We have a proven track record of providing the most coverage of your teams with Thursday and Friday night football. We will spotlight your players with multi-camera game broadcasts, pre- and post-game interviews, and segments on our Saturday morning radio show. With over 100 games broadcast in 2022, we will be exceptional for your team. Call, text, or email 480-220-4629 or info@varsitysportshow.com.
SB Nation Radio is now Sports Map Radio, keeping sports content fresh and fun. Join us right here on KDUS AM 1060.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Overview with Olivia. In today's segment, I'll be discussing everything to do with the Arizona Diamondbacks and their season thus far, and also what's ahead.
The D-backs have been on the road since the start of the 2023 season. The Dodgers were the first to host them in a 4-game series. The D-backs left that series going 2-2. After that, the team squeezed in a 2-game series against the San Diego Padres. During Tuesday's game, Padres player Manny Machado violated the pitch clock by postponing play while fixing his batting gloves, which resulted in him striking out, as he had already had 2 strikes and each violation is a strike. Following the strikeout, Machado was ejected from the game for arguing this call. The Diamondbacks went on to win the game 8-6. This is one of the first instances the pitch clock has been violated since the new rules were set for the season. Safe to say that many players are still adjusting.
On April 6th, the Diamondbacks will return home to Chase Field for the first time this season, taking on the Dodgers. Following this additional 4-game series, the D-backs will stay home to take on the Milwaukee Brewers for a 3-game series before hitting the road to take on the Miami Marlins. As of April 5th, the Diamondbacks are ranked 4th in the NL West standings, just 1 win above the Colorado Rockies. Aside from baseball, Diamondback fans will be welcomed back to Chase Field with new menu items. Fans can look forward to items such as a foot-long Sonoran dog, D-Backs Barbecue Alley, and a gluten-free helmet which will hold nachos and fries, and you guessed it, a baseball helmet. Plenty of food options for baseball fans. Be sure to secure your tickets to see your Arizona Diamondbacks take the field, and get there early, as the D-Backs will be celebrating their 25th anniversary in the MLB. That's it for this edition of Overview with Olivia. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you next time.
Good morning, Arizona. Welcome to this segment presented by the Varsity Sports Show that features high school highlights from the Valley. Sebastian has some special news for you. Let's see what's in store today. Hello and welcome back to another episode of AZ High School Highlights from the Valley. In this week's episode, I will feature some boys volleyball between Sunrise Mountain and Canyon View, and also feature some boys baseball between number 2 ranked Basha and number 1 ranked Hamilton. Here we go. Sunrise Mountain battled back to beat Canyon View in 5 sets to open the layaway. After defeating the second-ranked team in the conference in 5 sets on Tuesday, the Mustangs are now the only team at the summit of the 5A Northwest region. Despite being down 11-8, 13-11, and 22-18 in the 4th game, the Mustangs just never gave up. They were effective down the stretch in the areas passing and serving where they occasionally faltered. However, following a timeout, a service mistake gave Canyon View the opportunity to tie the 5th game at 14-all. But a Bryson Hines kill on the outside and Canyon View failed attempt to get the ball over on the last play, handing Sunrise Mountain the match. An absolute class game from the Mustangs as they hope to keep this momentum for the rest of the season. Lastly, we have number 2 Basha defeating number 1 Hamilton in this baseball classic. In their Premier Region opener at Hamilton High, the Bears defeated the Huskies by a total score of 7-3 thanks to strong pitching and plenty of base runners. Overall, Basha has advanced 14-5 and Hamilton is now 14-4 after the defeat. In handling Hamilton's opener and senior Carson Johnson in his first defeat in 5 decisions, the Bears never trailed. The Bears now collect 12 hits and added 7 more runners, giving them plenty of base runners. All 9 members of their opening lineup got on base, 8 of them had hits, and 5 of them scored runs. Senior left-hander Braden Barnes earned the victory for Basha as he only allowed 3 runs in. That is all for me today. Great highlights overall for the week, and like always, may you have a great varsity day.
You are listening to Under the Radar, a segment based around overlooked players around the AZ area, with your host, Caleb Wiley.
Good morning and welcome to another Under the Radar on the Varsity Sports Show. I'm your host, Caleb Wiley. And this time I have 2 new players that are really good. Again, do not have any D1 offers. And they're just really good, and they probably are going to get it soon, but they don't have it as of yet. So let's just get right into it. The first player I want to talk about is Evan Coates out of Bella Vista Prep in Scottsdale. He is a 6'9" center. He's a junior, so he has 1 more year to go. And the great thing about him is he's a center. Like I said, he's 6'9", but he has great vision. He's a really good passer. The basketball runs in the family. His older brother plays at NAUA. And he great vision, like I said. He's getting tougher. He has really good perimeter skills for a big man. He sometimes handles the ball full court, which is crazy for a center. And he's developing a shot, and when he gets that shot, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. He's a great player, and I would expect him in his senior year to get at least a few D1 offers. Now, the next player I want to talk about is a senior out of Imagine Prep in Surprise by the name of Amir Mohammed. He's a really good scorer, a dynamic scorer. He averages 26 a game. He also grabs 6 rebounds and 3 steals. So you know that he's playing hard out there because he's playing defense and he's also grabbing rebounds, and he's a guard. So in order to get those rebounds and play defense, you're going to have to play with your heart, and he definitely does do that. Like I said, it's a senior, so it is kind of running out of time for him to get a D1 offer, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does get one by the end of the year. Well, that's all the time I have for today. Thank you for listening to Under the Radar on the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show. This is the JUCO Sports Report.
And now, here is Jodeci Ariana with the JUCO Sports Report.
Welcome to the JUCO Sports Report. I am your host, Jodeci Ariana. The NJCAA announced the men and women's basketball All-Americans for Divisions 1 and 2. The Division 1's men's basketball had 2 athletes on second team. Oscar Clough from Cochise College was a second team All-American. Clough averaged 18.2 points, 9.8 rebounds, and had a field goal percentage of 74.8. Yaxel Lindenberg from Arizona Western College was second team All-American. Lindenberg averaged 17.2 points, 13 rebounds, and had a field goal percentage of 72.7. The Division 1 women's basketball had 2 athletes on second teams and 2 athletes get honorable mentions. Maeva de la Fortuna Ni'awo from Cochise College was second team All-American. Ni'awo averaged 13.3 points, 9.8 rebounds, and had a 47.9 field goal percentage. Sky Miller from Eastern Arizona College was second team All-American. Miller averaged 14.5 points, 5.3 rebounds, and had a field goal percentage of 48.7. Crystal Asen from Arizona Western College was an honorable mention. Asen averaged 14.9 points, 5.5 rebounds, and had a field goal percentage of 39.6. Patience Walker from Central Arizona College was also an honorable mention. Walker averaged 18.1 points, 5.1 rebounds, and had a field goal percentage of 42. This is Jodeci Ariana with the JUCO Sports Report on the Divisions 1 and 2 men and women's All-Americans. Division 2 men's basketball had 1 athlete on second team and 1 athlete on third team. Jamar Brown from Phoenix College was an All-American second team. Brown averaged 22.8 points, 9.8 rebounds, and had a field goal percentage of 49.7. Travar Jackson from Pima Community College was third team All-American. Jackson averaged 18 points, 6.2 rebounds, and had a field goal percentage of 58.1. The Division II women's basketball had 2 athletes on second team. Makai Anderson from Mesa Community College was second team All-American. Anderson averaged 13.1 points, 5.3 rebounds, and had a field goal percentage of 41. Luce Chavez from Pima Community College was second team All-American. Chavez averaged 13.3 points, 6.7 rebounds, and had a field goal percentage of 35.9. This has been the JUCO Sports Report with Jodeci Ariana.
To the Varsity Sports Show. We're just having a blast. If you guys could hear some of the stories going on up here, well, maybe it's good that you don't. But we're live from Bottle and Bean, the rooftop here in Chandler, the Ocotillo region. I don't know if it's considered a region, but joined by the owner of this fine establishment, Mr. Spike Lawrence, Knapp Lawrence, whose name is synonymous with. I mean, if you're going to call it ASU, you might as well call it ASU Knapp. Because it's just Knapp Lawrence, and then, of course, Nathan LeDuc. Amazing show. Guys, we're just about coming up on the end of our first hour, and we're finding out a lot. I've been hearing a lot of great stories from you guys. In the second hour, it's going to be a great time. We're going to be joined by Heisman Trophy winner Ty Detmer, who's now the head football coach at ALA Queen Creek, the Patriots. We'll have Max Hall on a little bit later on in the show. Max, of course, NFL alum, quarterback, played a little bit of time with the Cardinals, and he's a BYU grad as well at Mountain View Toro. And then Coach Joe Mickey from the Saguaro SaberCats. And then we're going to have the Beaching with Beal Southern California Surf Report. I had to bring my old friend back on, Mr. Insults, and he's I'm sure Knapp and Spike are going to get a chance to pile it on later as well. So it'll be a lot of fun. Nathan, we have an announcement to make regarding the special project you and I are doing, right? I mean,
we do.
Are we still?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to talk a little bit about that later in the show. You guys, definitely, you want to stick around. And we're also going to talk a little spring football at ASU with the expert himself sitting next to me, Knapp Lawrence. Knapp, you've had a chance to go out and watch a little bit of practice as well. We'll talk about that later in the show also. Yeah, looking forward to it. So, guys, make sure you stick around. As I said, when we come back from the break, we are going to be joined by Heisman Trophy winner Ty Detmer. And it should be a lot of fun. We're going to hear a little bit about the ALA Queen Creek program. We've heard a lot from Nathan and how the program went from 3A to 4A to 5A to open team. We're going to have Coach Joe Mickey with the SaberCat report. And then, again, Max Hall, NFL alum, who's also coaching out at ALA Queen Creek. Guys, stick around. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the Varsity Sports Show. Go Varsity. Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming. The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
Broadcasting from the Superbook Sports Studios, KDUS AM 1060 Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
Hello there, my name is Brandon Tran, and I'm a Cronkite student at Arizona State University, and I'm so thrilled to be joining the Varsity Sports Show this semester. As a former athlete myself, I'll be providing content, both boys and girls, as you can follow me on Twitter at BrandonTran70. As I hope to see you all there this semester and provide great content around you.
Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com. In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Hello, this is local voiceover model and former Daddy Yankee stunt double, Mario Malaby. Be sure to DM us your questions for Ask Lucas on Twitter. And you are listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
This program is made possible by Friends of the Varsity Media Foundation,
a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization.
You are listening
to the Varsity Sports Show.
You are listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
On AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Still the home of youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show. And now,
welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show here on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, hour number 2, and you hear the theme song from Ted Lasso. That actually was a tribute to our next guest, which he'll be joining us here shortly. Heisman Trophy winner, and he is the Ted Lasso of Arizona high school football and Arizona high school sports in general. His name is Ty Detmer. We'll be bringing him on shortly here, but let's continue our conversation. So joined on the rooftop of Bottle and Bean Wine and Coffee House here in Chandler, joined by Knapp Lawrence, longtime ASU athletics Sun Devil supporter, Spike Lawrence, his son Nathan LeDuc, Sun Devil Hall of Famer, and then I got my degree from ASU, so I'm Vince. Knapp, let's start with you. You've had a chance to see ASU football in person this spring. What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are that it's obvious that those kids want to be here. And I know the new coach let it be known, if you're halfway a Sun Devil, you're not going to be a Sun Devil. You're either going to be there. And there's not a kid on that team that doesn't hustle as much as he's ever done in his life. And I don't think I've ever seen a team so consistently full speed in practice. and they don't overdo it. They don't make extra long practices, but boy, do they burn the fuel while they're there. And it's amazing how good a shape they're in for this stage of the season.
Wow.
I just hope the public comes out, and the coach would
Spring
love
game.
to fill that stadium next week for
April 15th.
Yeah.
April 15th for the scrimmage, and anybody who doesn't see that won't be able to appreciate the progress this program has made in the last 12 months.
So I feel like through the years, and I was a Snyder guy. I was a Bruce Snyder guy, rest in peace. And I feel like, under his regime and Larry Marmee before him, they really built this sense of community, this pride, even with kids that came here from other places, going back to Frank Cush. And these kids had pride in the community. And I feel like somewhere along the line, we got disconnected or we got disjointed with some other guys that came in and were just looking not necessarily to build a sense of community, but just trying to put a team together. And I don't know if it was the coach's fault, if it was the kids that came in that really didn't buy in that much. I don't know. You could answer better than me, Nat, because you've been closer to the program. But I'll be honest with you. I don't know any of the kids on the team now, and I'm looking forward to finding out and coming back. I'm seeing kids that are committing and coming back home, but the last couple of years I haven't really felt that sense that I knew, oh, yeah, this guy from here, look at what he's doing now at ASU. Kind of like back in the day when it was Darren Woodson, Felipe Sparks, Kevin Minifield, this guy to my left here, Nathan Leduc, that they were all guys, local guys, And is that something, am I totally off base, or do you feel there's a sense of that maybe we might have gotten away from it and now it's coming back, the sense of community?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And to further that statement, we've never had a coaching staff that has accepted the Sun Devil country as much as these guys. Every one of them encourages meeting boosters, becomes friends with them. Hopefully they maintain that type of relationship with the media, which has not been a great Sun Devil teammate for quite a while locally here.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing to watch them work. The head coach would be a multimillionaire if he sold toothbrushes.
Yeah.
He's really a talented
Is that good,
young
huh?
man.
Yeah.
And I followed him. I knew how he was respected when he played at ASU, and when he was a senior, he was like Berkovici.
Oh, yeah.
He was a man among boys and helped teach the people who were not only his age but older than himself.
Yeah.
And it's a whole different environment. And the people, he hired a bunch of Leos that are totally super successful people on their own.
Okay.
Tauruses.
I think we're going to have the best
Leos.
recruiting staff
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
that we've ever had. Because
Hey,
I don't know horoscopes. Yeah.
On the in-state thing, I got to really applaud Coach Dillingham and that staff, because they've got an all-star staff of Arizona high school football legends. The year before they got hired, there was, I think, something like 54 Division I athletes coming out of Arizona. Herm Edwards' regime got zero.
Yeah. Wow.
Zero. So when you don't take that local star because it doesn't check the boxes that you've made up in your mind, when you go get Nathan Leduc to come play, you not only get a great player, but you got a guy that loves Arizona, loves Arizona State, and has thousands of followers, thousands.
Yeah.
So you're gaining, it's like business. You're gaining that populace. Yeah. They're all going to root for you. They're going to come to ASU, buy tickets to follow their guy.
Nathan, what are the alums saying?
I think right now we're very optimistic and feeling positive, and I think that collectively, at least the guys that I talk to, we've wanted this to happen for the last 25 years, and have just known that if you go after, first off, we're prideful ourselves, and we think very highly of ourselves as athletes, and the fact that we're from Arizona and we've been essentially shunned by the coaching staffs that have come in here. When I say we, I'm saying Arizona kids have literally not been looked at in any way, shape, or form. They've almost created some sort of a criteria scale that just completely went away from the Arizona kid. And as Spike just got done saying, in the process, we've lost a fan base.
Yep.
And, if
a generation.
if 1,000 people are going to follow each one of these local guys, your stadium's still going to be full, even if you're winning 6 or 7 games. You're building that community base. Everyone wants to come and support the local person. The fact of the matter is, the city has grown. The city has grown since I've been here, 5-fold.
Yep. Yeah.
And we have tremendous amount of talent as well. So anyway.
Well, and I'm gonna interrupt you on that point, Nathan. I do want to bring on Ty Detmer. Ty, are you there?
I am. How you guys?
All right. Ty, thanks for giving us a call this morning.
Ted Lasso.
The Ted Lasso of Arizona high school sports here on the phone with us. So, Ty, I got to ask you right off the bat. First of all, congratulations on all the great things that you're doing at ALA Queen Creek. And when I first met the folks out at Queen Creek, I've got a story later when we have Max Hall on, but about one coach in particular on your staff. But I met Rich Edwards. He was kind of my intro. He was your predecessor. He was the AD there as well. And you guys were just coming off a 3A state championship. You got bumped to 4A, then you got bumped to 5A, and then the AIA, I guess, kind of lost their way, and they kept bumping you guys every year. And now you guys are 6A for a school that's what's the enrollment there, like 180?
No, we're just under 1,200, but yeah, we're definitely the smallest 6A school, I think.
Yeah, and it's not like Brophy where it's all boys that are 1,200. I mean, that's a combination, and so yeah. But anyway, so how are you liking it? I mean, you're obviously the kids enjoy playing for you, so you must be doing something right.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed coaching high school football. I did it for about 7 years in Texas before I went to BYU for a couple years, and then found our way here to Arizona and got the opportunity to coach at ALA Queen Creek, and it's been awesome. We've got a great group, and like you said, Rich Edwards built a great program. My job, I always tell people, is to come in and not screw it up with Max Hall and James Varinsky as the two coordinators. Things were already in place, and then just try to add to it.
Yeah. It's and I say this as I'm looking at Knapp Lawrence here. Knapp and Spike joining me here with one of your assistants, Nathan Leduc. It's hard to follow a legend, and I know Rich Edwards did a great job, but Knapp, who was the guy that followed Frank Kush? See? You don't even know, do you?
Theo Rogers.
No.
Actually, he did a pretty good job.
Who was the interim? Was it an interim?
It was an interim. Yeah, it was what was his name? Owens was his last name. He was like a year.
Bob Owens.
Bob Owens. See, there you
wow.
go. See,
Bob
people
Owens.
did see? Yeah, it's hard to follow a legend. So anyway, but Ty, you're doing a great job out there. The school is growing a little bit, but the athletics are growing by leaps and bounds. What is it a testament to? Is it all coaching, or are you just getting the right kind of kids?
Well, I think it's a group effort for sure. I mean, you look at our staff, and you throw around the term assistants, and I think our coordinators. I try to do a great job of giving everybody a voice, and then we sit down and put a plan together, and we're very involved in our lower levels. At ALA, because we're a K through 12, we get a chance to work with our middle school kids during their middle school season, and so it's a great environment to help promote youth football, and then you got the Santan Youth Football League out here, and a lot of our kids that are in our school play in that and play on different teams, and I think people have seen the culture we've built and continue to try to keep that culture right. And this year, right now, I've got 160 kids on that potentially are going to play football. And last year at this time it was 130. And so, like you said, our enrollment, we're maxed out pretty much. But the interest in football has kept going up, and I think that's a tribute to our guys that are helping around our program and our assistants that are involved in the community. And so I think people see what we've done and how we're doing it and want to play for us. And so we're excited with where it's headed.
So one thing we do here at the Varsity Sports Show, aside from hosting the Saturday morning radio program, is that we do a lot of live streaming of sporting events. We cover teams, and we've got partnerships, some strategic partnerships with some schools around the valley, some teams around the valley. But one that I haven't been able to establish that with is the ALA Queen Creek Patriots. How can we, become your broadcast and production team? I'm sitting here next to Nathan, and Nathan says, "Oh yeah, just ask Ty. He's got the budget. He can hire you guys, no problem."
Yeah, we're
you got some of that Heisman money over there, huh?
Well, we've I don't know about that, but we've.
Can I touch your Heisman trophy sometime?
Coach,
Can I come by there?
I know 20 people in the pecans over there that can provide the budget for this.
Yeah. What do you say?
Right.
My gosh.
Yeah,
let's
do
go.
it, let's
okay.
do it.
All right. He won't take my call after this. Okay.
No, he's blocking you right now.
Yeah, he's blocking his phone right now. Yeah. Gosh. The other thing is developing pipelines, and a pipeline, a natural pipeline, a great one is, there was an offer made to a young man with the same name of the guy sitting next to me that plays for you. How do we continue to develop that pipeline to our state schools like Arizona State? I'm sitting here in front of the Lawrences, for God's sake, royalty among ASU athletics. What do we do, Ty?
I think I think it starts with the schools. Those universities have all made a commitment to recruit in state now, and that's where it starts. So I think as they've done that, kids are a lot more open to staying in state. So I think it's important to recruit your state and to keep kids at home. And so, as they build their programs and do it with in-state kids, that's just, creates more positive energy for kids to stay around.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's Ty Detmer. He is he's what was it, 1991, Nathan?
1991, he won the Heisman.
He won the Heisman in 91.
You'll never get him to talk about it.
No, we could talk about it all we want. I want to talk about that spring game also, where you were slinging the rock around here, the 7-on-7 recently, where one of the guys on staff there blew his Achilles out. Did you have anything to do with that?
No, that's what you get when you're taunting the other team. That's usually when injuries happen. So,
we'll talk to Max about that. Okay. All right. Ty Detmer, head football coach at ALA Queen Creek. Coach, thank you so much for joining us. I will be in touch with you. I promise you. So I hope you take my call. Okay.
You guys are welcome out anytime. I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right.
Thanks, Ty.
Guys, when we come back from the break, we are going to be joined by Saguaro SaberCat head baseball coach Joe Mickey on the SaberCat Report. We're going to talk a little bit about his team. I want to know more about this kid named Caminiti, whose dad has got the same name. So we're going to talk a little bit about him as well as the rest of his program when we come back here on the Varsity Sports Show.
Listener rewards for you with the KDUS 1060 app. Download today to hear all of the national and local shows you love. That's the KDUS 1060 app.
Hi, this is Mesa Community College Assistant Athletic Director Mike Lavella and Modern Day Invincible. You're listening to AM 1060, the Varsity Sports Show, the home of all your junior college sports coverage.
Hello, my name is Dominic Hernandez and I am currently working at the Varsity Sports Show. I am a senior at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications at Arizona State University. I will be working various jobs from working the camera to doing play-by-play of games. I can't wait to see what unique stories there will be in this upcoming high school sports season and be able to cover all the different sports that every high school has to offer.
Chris Scott of RE/MAX is Central Oregon's best realtor for anyone thinking of a vacation home or relocation. He's our very own born and raised Venetian who moved his family to Central Oregon nearly 15 years ago. Contact Chris if you're thinking of exploring beautiful Central Oregon. It truly is living at its best. 541-999-5614. Proud partner of the Varsity Sports Shows, it's Dylan. Coaches, the Varsity Sports Show wants to be part of your team in 2023. We have a proven track record of providing the most coverage of your teams with Thursday and Friday night football. We will spotlight your players with multi-camera game broadcasts, pre- and post-game interviews, and segments on our Saturday morning radio show. With over 100 games broadcast in 2022, we will be exceptional for your team. Call, text, or email 480-220-4629 or info@varsitysportshow.com.
Have you downloaded the KDUS 1060 app yet? Download today and get all of your favorite local and national shows right on your phone.
The Varsity Sports Show presents the SaberCat Report with Saguaro High School baseball coach Joe Mickey. And now, here's the SaberCat Report.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Doing a remote today. It's a lot of fun. The sun's starting to come out a little bit here. It's I'm lucky. I'm first of all, I'm wearing long sleeves, but being olive skinned, and there aren't many advantages that being Italian has these days, but the skin is that's always a good thing. So we don't get skin cancer very often. So we're not as fair skinned as other people. But anyway, joined here on the rooftop of Bottle and Bean Wine and Coffee House here in Chandler in the Ocotillo area. Spike Lawrence, the purveyor of this fine establishment, and his dad, Knapp. And we are joined on the line for the SaberCat Report, an old friend of ours, Coach Joe Mickey, who's been on a bit of a winning streak. Coach, how's it going?
Oh, no complaints on a beautiful Saturday morning. And, we're in a good spot. And so just got done with practice, and so now get to go enjoy the Easter egg hunting.
I got to ask you, Coach, with all this winning that's going on, are you renegotiating your contract with your AD Matt Harris? Are you guys throwing in some other perks out there?
No, not yet. I tell you, it's a good place to be though, and nice leverage to have, and these opportunities to see the program have success. But,
yeah, I want to help you negotiate that. Yeah, so,
you're the first call
anyway.
I make. I tell you when that comes up.
Okay, I can't wait. So we're joined by a couple of guys that are big baseball fans here, and obviously Nathan Leduc, who played baseball for years among other sports, Knapp and Spike Lawrence. Coach, tell us about this week. I mean, you guys, you had some big wins here over the past week. You got Arcadia, you had Prescott. You got Mesquite coming on Monday, a game that we're going to be broadcasting. Give us a recap of the week and then a look ahead.
Yeah, so you nailed it. High rivalry game, a Scottsdale rivalry game with Arcadia. Night games are always fun. The ball tends to kind of jump a little bit more, and we came out in that one and with a really good aggressive approach, and had 3 home runs in the first inning, and then it's a double-edged sword because then you want to keep your foot on the gas, but you kind of also start to realize that you're starting to run away with it. So we got tested a little bit at the back end of that game with making sure we finish, and then Prescott, again, you can't sleep on anybody. We talked about it last week, Vince, and it's just everybody's going to give you their best shot. Prescott gave us a heck of a shot on Thursday or on Wednesday, and we answered that call. A little adversity, a couple tough plays that didn't go our way, but that's a good sign of a team that is understanding where they're at and the confidence that's just happening within, and so we were able to kind of navigate that, and that did. It set us up for what I kind of see as potentially, region title type games here with Mesquite being in the 2 seed right behind us. And so hopefully we, are prepared for what that rivalry in the region is going to be. We know they're coached really well over there every year, and, they were state champs a couple years ago. And so we're looking to kind of make our statement this week early on, but this one's going to test us too with 4 games in 5 days. So, one at a time, you try not to look ahead, but you also prepare for what's right in front of you.
Coach, I got to tell you, again, and I'm sure you know the names, Knapp and Spike Lawrence. And Knapp actually just dropped his wallet a minute ago. I picked it up and kind of took a look inside it here. And Coach, he is the pipeline to ASU athletics. So I'm sure you got some kids there. And while he's all football, they're constantly on the look for some baseball kids. So talk to us about some of the kids you got in the program coming up.
Yeah, and we have there's actually a couple guys ASU has been on. Tate Schumard, who's our left-handed pitcher, who's going on Monday for us against Mesquite, has been absolutely lights out with 5-1 and pitching in a lot of big games for us, and been able to really just take it on both sides of the ball. And so between him and Billy Gregory kind of leading the charge on the mound, and Christopher Margarella closing games for us. I mean those 3 guys have kind of been in the mix of everything that we've done defensively, and then we're playing really good ball around them, behind them. So we're giving them a chance to go deep in the game. But those 3 guys on the mound, and then offensively just have guys that are just swinging a constant bat that's been really productive. Cam Schmidt in the middle of the lineup, and even offensively behind him, Billy and Cade both have been swinging great, but Cam Caminiti, is hitting 450 and leading the charge from the front, and just been one of those things that even at the bottom of the order, Xander Bradfist in our 9-hole who's been on base percentage of over 600. So everybody's just kind of understanding where they're at in the order, their role on the team, and you just kind of remind them, if you do your job, your number's called, be ready for that, and root really hard for the guy in front of you because we are chasing one stat. And so, those guys are definitely, everybody's buying in. Our bench has been awesome, and just being ready to have their number called. And that's hard to do because everybody wants to be the guy, right? And so the buy-in's there, and I think success has helped and made that easier to create that buy-in.
Well, and speaking of buy-in, I wanted to welcome a new sponsor of the segment here, a sponsor of Saguaro Baseball, and it's Chipsa's Fast and Fresh, healthy-minded Mexican for diners on the go. Expect all the classics elevated with the best ingredients and made from family recipes, generations in the making. Located just east of Hayden on Thomas Road in Scottsdale. Find them on Instagram and Facebook or on the web at chispasfresh.com. That's Chispas. Open 8 to 8:30, 8 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday. And is that right? 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Friday and Saturday. I thought it said 3 a.m. Chispas Fast and Fresh. Thanks so much for supporting Saguaro Baseball. Thank you, Coach, so much for joining us on the SaberCat Report, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, look forward to seeing you out at the field, Vince. Appreciate you as always. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Go ahead, Aaron. Take it away.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dominic Hernandez, and today I'm very excited to be doing an interview with McKenna Top, who does cross country, track and field, and swimming at Boulder Creek High School. So, McKenna, I'd just like to start off with, how did you initially get into doing 3 different sports at Boulder Creek?
Well, I had been swimming almost all my life. I swam since I was 5 years old, and I dabbled in cross country when I was younger as well. But as soon as I moved here, like the opportunities kind of like broke out. I was able to swim in the fall, and then I could do cross country. I did cross country and swim at the same time in the fall, and then I would run track in the spring, and I would cross train, and my coaches very helpful, and they would motivate me to try all of it.
So what have you enjoyed the most about being able to compete in these different sports?
I like that being able to compete in a bunch of different sports, it's good cross training. So it really does help prevent injury. So swimming, for example, you're getting the cardio and you're getting everything in without the impact. While with running, you're still getting the cardio and everything. It's like in a different way. It's like it really helps cross training. So you become good at one, you become good at the other as well.
And going along that, what have you noticed is the biggest difference between the different sports?
The biggest difference is kind of like the structure of it. Swimming is it's like fast paced. It's more fast paced. The recovery is different than it is running per se. For swimming, like my shoulders were hurt more than running. It's more my knees. So it's mainly what I need to do outside of training, like what I need to do in the gym to make sure I'm not getting injured and I'm doing well on support.
So what have you found uniquely challenging about competing in different sports over the year?
It's mainly when I'm doing one, I kind of miss the other, and I miss that team and everything. So it's like I want to do it all at the same time, but sometimes you just need to take a step back. But they all have their highlights, so I like all of them, I guess.
And lastly, so what do you have coming up in the coming weeks?
Well, tomorrow I have a track meet at the Distance Classic, and I'll be running the 2-mile and the medley relay that they host. And then next week we have our senior night, and then the following weeks we start district and state and everything for high school track.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. I'd like to thank McKenna Top, who does cross country, track and field, and swimming at Boulder Creek High School, for doing this interview, and good luck on all the events you have coming up.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening, and have a great day.
Welcome. It's time for your Wildcat Insider with Mary Grace Armistead. Your inside report on Wildcat athletics on the Varsity Sports Show. Let's get started.
Hi everyone, it's MG on the Varsity Sports Show with your Wildcat Insider. Let's get started. First, we have some Arizona men's basketball news. Arizona has reached out to 6'9" wing Jonathan Pierre from D2 Power Nova Southeastern. He averaged 14.5 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 3.4 assists. Arizona women's basketball has posted 2 vacancies for assistant coaches. Ashley Davis and Aaron Grant are no longer listed. McHale's attendance is now number 1 in Pac-12 and 9 in the nation after this year. Arizona Swimming has fired their assistant coaches Anna Heller and Cliff Robbins. Arizona football commits a 3-star linebacker Luke Farrelly from California. Now Arizona baseball gets swept by Oregon in a series, but will start play against the Washington Schools. Next, Arizona softball sweeps Georgetown and San Diego State in the Bear Down Fiesta, and Devon Nets gets back-to-back shutouts this week. Arizona track and field and the Willie Williams Classic brought the highest revenue for a meet in Arizona track and field history. Arizona women's tennis got swept by the California Schools, but freshman Reese Carter played one against Stanford, who only lost by 3 points to opponent 12 in the country, with a final score of 7-6, 4-6, 7-10. Arizona men's tennis swept the California Schools this week, first sweeping up number 37 UCLA and beating them 4-0. Next, they played number 9 USC, where they take the massive upset 4-3. Colton Smith beat top-ranked player in the nation, and the Wildcats now ranked 12 in the country. Oregon and Washington will be their last home matches, but that is all for your Wildcat Insider, and tune in on the Varsity Sports Show.
It's time for the Sun Devil Report with Eric Castellon, bringing you all the latest sports news around Arizona State University. Good morning and welcome to the Sun Devil Report. I'm your host, Eric Castellon, and we have more ASU sports to get into today, with spring fully in the road ahead. Starting it off this time with football. It may not be football season yet, but ASU spring practices are in full swing and culminated for the first time last Saturday with a scrimmage at Sun Devil Stadium. The biggest question surrounding the team entering the offseason was quarterback play, and head coach Kenny Dillingham talked to the media following the scrimmage and was asked if he thought the QBs were progressing at all through spring so far.
I did. I mean, you see them a little more comfortable every single day. Obviously today we called more shots down the field, which really, what am I looking for? Who throws it away? It sounds so boring, right? It's like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to see throwaways all practice, but who throws the football away on 1st and 10? Who throws the check down for a gain of 2 on 1st and 10? That's literally what the day was today. It wasn't catch and throw like we did last week, which they had a great day catching and throwing. It was, we're going to put you in adverse situations and see who will just be smart with the football and who can we trust to be aggressive.
As for the Diamond Devils, they have continued their winning ways as they took 3 of 4 games they played last week. On Tuesday, they left Las Vegas with a 6-2 win over UNLV and then traveled to Berkeley for a weekend conference series against Cal. After winning 4-1 on Friday night, ASU snapped their 5-game win streak with a 5-4 loss, but bounced back in the series finale, winning 15-10. Since March 8th, the Devils have been on a roll, going 13-2 since then. Up next for ASU is a 4-game homestand this week, hosting Seattle University on Tuesday night, then Washington State this weekend. Devils are currently 19-9 overall, 7-2 in Pac-12 play, as they look to keep up their form. That's all the time I have for you this week. I'm Eric Castellon, and thank you for listening to the Sun Devil Report on the Varsity Sports Radio Show.
I'll turn those picks into gold.
Wall-to-wall NFL coverage and the biggest stories coming to you from 3 to 5 p.m. The Rich Eisen Show, here on KDUS AM 1060 and KDUS1060.com.
Hi, my name is Maya Denise Gaskin, and I'm a 19-year-old student pursuing a degree in broadcast journalism at the University of Arizona. With a passion for sports and a strong background in dance and performance, I'm excited to pursue my dream of becoming a sports broadcaster. In addition to my professional experience, I have a track record of academic success and leadership throughout my community. I currently serve as your Miss Arizona Teen USA, and I'm eager to use my skills and talents to make a positive impact in the world of sports.
This is Coach Lucas Ramirez, and you are listening to the home of the Saguaro Sabercats, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS.
Sports, sports, sports.
Hello everyone, my name is Sebastian Mondaka, and it's a pleasure of mine to be a part of the Varsity Sports Show this spring. I'm a current undergraduate student studying at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. I'm still unsure of what exactly I want to pursue in sports journalism. However, I hope to learn and advance my knowledge under the Varsity Sports Show and create great memories with you. Let's make this a great year and let's strive for greatness.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
Check out the Doug Gottlieb Show, Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona. Joined live, we're actually on the rooftop here of Bottle and Bean Wine and Coffee House in Chandler, Arizona, and for a special show, a special live broadcast on a beautiful spring morning with the owner of this establishment, longtime ASU Sun Devil supporter, Spike Lawrence, Nathan LeDuc, Sun Devil Hall of Famer, and joining us on the line is NFL alum. He's also a coach. He coaches out at ALA Queen Creek, the Patriots. He is a football coach out there. His name is Max Hall. Good morning, Coach Hall.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Coach, we appreciate you calling in. We know that you're just recovering from some surgery after a pretty serious, apparently Achilles injury. You were out playing some tackle football and a full pad, kind of an NFL thing. I heard, huh? You're out there running around and you pulled your tendon. Is that what happened?
Yeah, I wish I could say that the big league called me back up and that's how it happened, but
yeah.
Unfortunately, I am now in that category of guys who have suffered severe injury celebrating a play. And I happen to be celebrating a play in a flag football game, alumni football game at BYU, and one of those things. I guess you're officially on your way to getting old when you start parenting celebrating plays. So that's where we're at.
Well, Max, you didn't look old. I watched the replay of that game with my whole family. I mean, we were celebrating you and Ty. You guys were both on the same team, both slinging around. You still have quite a bit of velocity on the ball, and we're throwing it pretty well. I just saw you getting carried off by a couple of your teammates, so we didn't even know what happened. But you didn't actually – you just did it by jumping up and down, I guess, huh?
Yeah, Ty, I mean, obviously watching Ty in that game, he can still sling it too, man. And it's kind of funny. We nicknamed him in practice the microwave because he, never even needs to warm up. He can just grab a ball and start throwing. He's always hot. That's what we named him at.
Well, when the ball's not traveling that fast, you don't really need to warm up. But it somehow gets there, and it gets there at the right time, and it's got a little bit of wobble on it, so you get to see a little more of the surface area, and it's easier to catch, right?
Hey, he throws a catchable ball. That's how we describe that. He throws a catchable
All right.
ball.
So, Max, two quarterbacks. You guys coach together, obviously. And, I mean, what's it like? Do you guys argue, like you and Ty? I mean, Ty, I can't imagine. He's always walking around with a smile on his face. I can't imagine he gets mad at anybody. But when you call a play and let's say it doesn't work, will he look at you and just kind of, shake his head? Or what happens? Do you guys have any heated discussions on anything?
Not yet, not so far. No, what's really nice about Ty and I is we really do see eye to eye on offensive philosophy.
Yeah.
And so we have the same mindset on things. So if anything, Ty just during the game, he knows what it's like to call plays. He knows what it's like, maybe when the offense is sputtering. So he'll just come over and be like, hey, stick with it, stick with the run game, maybe throw in a little bit of this, you got it. But he never gets mad at a play call or tells me what to do. So it's been fun having him. I've learned a lot from him, and he's perfect. I think he's handled me perfect as far as letting me call the plays and helping out where he can.
ALA Queen Creek has been shrouded somewhat in a little bit of controversy the last couple of years. Nothing bad, but the fact that when I met you guys, you were just coming off a 3A state championship, which we're not talking 10 years ago. We're talking 3 years ago. 3A, for God's sake. You bump up to 4A, bump up to 5A, now 6A. I mean, what's the deal? Does somebody at the AIA know something that maybe the rest of humanity doesn't know about your program, that you guys are just a sleeping giant, or what's going on?
No, we're just a little charter school who get great kids, and we have a great coaching staff, and we can compete at a high level. But, we're still 3A enrollment. There's only 1,100 kids in our high school. And You're right, going from 3A to 6A in a span of about 3 or 4 years. And in that span, after that 3A championship, we didn't win a 4A championship. We didn't win a 5A championship. Yeah, we went to the Open 2 years in a row. Does that justify us moving up that fast? I don't know. However, I think that as a program, we have taken on the mindset of we can't control that. The only thing that we can control is how we prepare, how we practice, and how we play, and where they put us, and we can't be scared to compete with anybody. So we'll see. I mean, 6A is obviously a different monster, and it's going to be a big-time challenge for us, and we're excited for that challenge.
So I have a real quick Max Hall story, and we're going to have more time for Max down the road for sure. But I want to get this story in before we have to let him go. But when I met you, Max, 3 years ago, you guys just came off that championship. You were hosting Ben Franklin, and it was in the 4A. You guys had both moved up, and I called the game. It was a Thursday night game of the week. And by the way, Ty said that we're going to be contracted to work with you guys this season. We're going to do all your games this year, so I need you to back me on that. Yeah, I'm working on the negotiations now. But anyway, I approached you and I said, hey, I needed to confirm your roster. You were real nice, gracious. Talked to me for a bit, and you said go over to the other side of the field. Go over and talk to Dennis Pitta. He coaches the tight ends. And I'd like to think that I know, pro football players and the NFL and guys that played in the league and all that. I had no idea who Dennis Pitta was. I didn't know who he was. And you sent me to talk to like 3 guys. There was one guy that was, that was like 5'5", maybe 300 pounds. There was another guy next to him that was like 5'8", maybe 120. And then there was this guy that was like 6'5", 270 pounds, like cut like a Greek god. And so I went over to all 3 and I said, hey, I'm looking for Dennis Pitta. Which one of you is Coach Pitta? And I was just, and I had no idea. But apparently, I guess there's like Nathan told me there's like 50 million reasons why I'm supposed to know who this guy is. So who is he, Nathan?
I'm glad that you did that, because Dennis needs to be humbled once in a while. So that's all good, man. But,
yeah.
No,
but
we've been fortunate to have some really good dudes on staff. So did you end up talking to him?
Well, yeah, apparently after that got straightened out, and I got lectured on the fact that he played in the NFL, but I had no idea who the guy was, so I'm sorry. I think I might have even gotten his autograph before I left, but I didn't even know what to do with it, because I still didn't it wasn't like it was Joe Montana, you know what I mean? But, whatever. Anyway, but thank you so much, Max. I appreciate, and Nathan and I have a special project coming up, and we obviously want to make you the focus on some of what we're doing with that as well, because I know you've got an incredible story to tell and some things that you've dealt with in your life, and some struggles and some triumphs that resulted in that as well. So, and you have another triumph now in getting that Achilles tended to heal. Are you 40 yet?
I'm 37. Careful now. Don't throw me in that category yet now.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, NFL alum and currently coaching out at ALA Queen Creek. His name is Max Hall. And Nathan, you got anything for Max here before we wrap up with him?
No, Max, just heal up quick, because we definitely we need you.
Yeah,
we need that fiery intensity to offset the mellowness of our head man.
There we go.
That's why we work so well together, man.
That is true.
But
that is
true.
I'll
heal
up,
right. And we're looking forward to spring ball and everything. And you guys, I appreciate you having me on anytime. I'd love to come on and chat with you guys. So thank you.
Thank you. Maybe we'll include Dennis Pitta next time.
Awesome.
Thanks, Max. Go ahead, Aaron.
See you, Max.
Hello, everyone, and happy Saturday. My name is Hannah Pettiferry, and you are listening to the Varsity Sports Show segment of the Tempe Sports Report. The Tempe Sports Report is sponsored by Angry Crab Shack of Tempe, located near the I-10 and Warner Road. Growing up, I played soccer for about 11 years, but then when I went into high school, I tried out for our cheerleading team. I did that for 2 years and then decided I wanted to do something different, so I tried out for our school's golf team. Going from cheerleading to golf is definitely not an easy switch, but I am so grateful and glad that I did because I was introduced to a sport that I still play to this day. So for the Tempe Sports Report, I sat down with an alumni from Corona del Sol, Caroline Formisano, who did both golf and dance throughout her 4 years of high school. And here's that interview right now.
Okay, so growing up, I liked the idea of doing cheer and dance in high school just because I had older role models in my life that did that. But then around middle school, I got introduced to the game of golf, and I realized that I enjoyed golf way more than I did cheer, so I definitely started playing golf more. And then when I got to high school and realized I had to pick either cheer or golf, I decided to do golf and took dance as a class in high school and did both.
How did you manage both these sports during the on and off season?
Definitely was hard during the fall season, just because that is my golf season, and that's also when we have extracurricular dance rehearsals for our upcoming dance show that's in the winter. So at the end of my golf season, which was around state, it would definitely be a lot because that's when dance would start hyping up. But definitely just time management, going to school and having dance as a class during my school day. I would put a lot of focus into my dance class, and then after school, I'd go to the golf course. So I would have to miss some of my dance classes that were after school. Definitely just making sure that my attention was where it needed to be at what time of the day it was. You know, like during school, kind of more dance focused, and then after school, I would allow myself to focus on golf.
And then what advice would you give for someone who is interested in starting their golfing career at either your age now or someone in middle school?
Definitely go out and try. Just go to the practice range or play 9. Just keep in mind that everyone started somewhere. I feel like golf can be such a look around at your environment and, oh my gosh, I'm not as good as them, and my swing looks funky. I really don't know how to do this, but definitely just know that everyone started somewhere, and definitely like reach out to like your friends that already do play golf and be like, let's just go and you can kind of teach me just the mechanics of it all. And just don't be afraid to try, because golf is, in my opinion, one of the coolest sports because you can play it for the rest of your life. And so it's never too late to start.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Of course. Have a good day.
You too. Once again, that was Caroline Formisano, who is a Corona del Sol golf and dance alumni. Well, folks, that's all I have for the Tempe Sports Report for this week. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next week on the Varsity Sports Show. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and this is Hannah signing off.
Bringing you the latest sports topics weekly right here on KDUS AM 1060 with me, the Doug Gottlieb Show, 1 to 3 p.m.
Coaches, the Varsity Sports Show wants to be part of your team in 2023. We have a proven track record of providing the most coverage of your teams with Thursday and Friday night football. We will spotlight your players with multi-camera game broadcasts, pre- and post-game interviews, and segments on our Saturday morning radio show. With over 100 games broadcast in 2022, we will be exceptional for your team. Call, text, or email 480-220-4629 or info@varsitysportshow.com. In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Hey everyone, my name is Eric Castellan, and thank you for tuning in to the Varsity Sports Show. I am currently a senior at Arizona State University, attending the Walter Cronkite School of Mass Communications and Journalism. I'm originally from California, but I moved to Arizona because of all the sports that are available out here, and I can't wait to bring you all the high school sports that we cover, whether you're listening or watching. Stay tuned.
Your morning drive just got a little better. The Dan Patrick Show is live weekday mornings starting at 6 exclusively on KDUS AM 1060.
And now it's time for Beachin' with Beal. Random thoughts from a real Orange County, California surfer guy, Mike Beal. The opinions expressed during this segment in no way represent those of KDUS AM 1060 Arizona, the Varsity Sports Show, its host, or its listeners. Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, in our final segment. And Spike, I know you were part of this last time when you graciously allowed us into your coffee shop inside when it was cold out, and now we're up here on the roof at Bottle and Bean in Chandler, joined by Nathan LeDuc as well. I got to set this segment up for you. So as you heard that little disclaimer there that, you know, we're not responsible for what's said in this particular segment. This is a couple of years ago, I was looking to fill some airtime, and I called up an old friend of mine from high school, a guy named Mike Beal. He lives in Southern California now. He is an instructor at a junior college in Costa Mesa. Mike, can I give the name of the college you work at, or is that
sure thing.
Okay, Orange Coast College in Costa Mesa, and so we developed a segment, a Southern California Surf Report. Nice. And around that, it's great. And you know, when he does it right, you know, he comes on and he talks about the surf and everything else. But then after about 30 seconds, it's done. So he wants to stay on the air, so he'll start hurling insults at me, and it becomes a roast from high school, you know, stuff from high school. So bear with us as we get through this segment. So we're going to talk a little bit about the surf first. So then nobody else, none of these guys, McCabe, the guys on 1580, none of these guys, talk about, give a surfing report. So this is one thing that's exclusive to us. So if you ever hear it on other stations, they got it from us. All right, Mike, give us a surf report. What's going on?
Hey, first of all, take it easy, tough guy. Okay, but before I tell you guys about the surf, I got to mention that last week I was at the Improv in Irvine, and I saw Patton Oswalt. He's a comedian, actor, and I swear it's uncanny, the resemblance between the two of you. I mean, you could at least pass for his dad.
That's the first one. Okay, his dad. Okay, all right. Thank you for that. Yeah.
It's a nice day out today. It's similar to beautiful Chandler, I would imagine. It's shaping up to be real nice. But, you know, there's no waves. And the water is 54 degrees. A bone chilling.
It's cold.
54. Yeah, it's strange.
Now, you had a brush with celebrity, a little brush with fame out there this week, didn't you? Who'd you run into?
It wasn't this week. It was a couple of years ago, but my daughter was.
Oh, you made it sound like it just happened. You said, I got to tell that story. It just happened. It didn't?
I just remembered that it happened because my daughter was hazing me. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was like a Tuesday night after work, about 6 o'clock, and I went and paddled out at Huntington Beach, south side of the pier. It was a pretty big day. Anyway, I get out there. And who do I run into but Bethany Hamilton? She's a girl in Hawaii who a couple years prior had her arm actually bitten off by a shark.
Wow.
She's a pro. And so anyway, I paddle out and I see her and I was like, yeah, all right, Bethany, what's going on? And she just totally brushed me off. She was all business.
Yeah.
And then suddenly somebody yells, outside, which when you're surfing means start paddling for the islands because something big's coming. So it's her and I sitting there. We're both paddling outside, trying to get out of these waves. And she paddled like a 4.40. I felt like I was in cement.
Wow.
I was really with one arm. I was really impressed. And then the waves were big.
Yeah.
And I was like, woo. I was just glad to make it outside. She actually took off on one. And it was very impressive. It should be inspirational to all the Saturday morning sports radio talk show hosts. And then we went like a year or two later. We went and saw the movie.
Yeah,
I can't remember what it's called, but they made a movie and there was a book and stuff. And my daughter goes, "Hey, Dad, isn't that the girl that surfs better than you?"
Yeah.
So, I said, "It sure was."
Good. Okay, so good story, obviously. So now let's transition here. Yeah, I want to talk about so Mike. We went to high school together, and there was speaking of inspirations, there was a legend back then when we were in high school, a guy by the name of Nathan LeDuc. That's all we heard about. You know, when we played football and we played against Alhambra and everything else. What does that name mean to you?
Well, a pretty legendary player when we were younger. I mean, back in those days, it was all about the newspaper and Friday night news after games, and it was all Nathan all the time, I remember.
It was like 24/7. If they had a 24/7 news channel, it would have been the Nathan LeDuc channel, right?
Again, I need to pay Richard Obert something over all those years.
Yeah. That's
those are good years. Yeah, and then Vince and I, after he finished being the assistant equipment manager on our football team, went to ASU together.
Yeah.
And we followed your career there again.
Yeah, we did.
Quite impressive.
We used to tell people that we knew him so we can get into places. Remember after you and I took a movie class. Remember we took a movie. That's all we did was watch movies in the evening, and then we would what fraternity? Tell Spike what fraternity you were part of that got closed down.
Theta Delta Chi got expelled from ASU back in '93.
Yeah, and what ended up causing that dorm to shut down?
It was an accumulation of various violations. We ended up being really on. I mean, it's kind of a joke, but we really were on like double secret probation, and then
like Faber College. Yeah.
Yeah, it just didn't. It kind of went south.
Wow. Okay.
I was a Sigma Nu, Mike. I think you and I drank a couple beers at the Dash or Club Rio back in the day.
I bet we did. Yeah, our neighbors.
Yeah. Yeah. You would, Mike, Spike, you wouldn't have talked to this guy, believe me. Yeah.
Sounds like a cool dude.
No, he's not. He really isn't. So he just.
I remember in college, like Vince would come over to the fraternity house. He was quiet as a church mouse, just intimidated, like, "Oh my God, there's girls here."
Look at that.
Mike, nothing has changed.
All right. Anyway. All right. So we actually, Mike, since we have you on the call, you can help us to celebrate this. But Nathan and I have a project coming up. Nathan, we're starting a podcast.
We are. We're going to start a podcast. We are going to focus it on former ASU athletes, current ASU athletes. We're going to try and speak positively about these former athletes and let them tell their stories and the things that made them successful in life, and we're going to try and interject some good out into the world. Is what we're going to try and do.
And that's what's different about this. You know, we're not viewing the world through rose-colored glasses, but we're going to point out the great things going on out there, kind of like our show. You know, we point out all the good things going on out there, with the exception of this last segment, and it'll probably be funded by Spike and Nap Lawrence, because we're going to need a big budget to get going on everything.
It seems like Nap's giving money to everybody.
He is. So why not us? For God's sake!
Yeah, we're going to have to ask him at some point.
Wait, Spike, you got to help us with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But seriously. So the theme. So one thing I've noticed about you, Nathan, is that you, present company excluded, you really talk and support the little guy. You know, like you're really supportive, like you care about people, you know, like, I mean, seriously, like you take the time and you want to help people out. You see yourself, you know, you don't put yourself on a pedestal by any means, but you find a way to give back and to give people time. Like, this is a small example of what you do. You are the only person that I talk to that I can send a text message to that within 30 seconds, what are you going to do? You call me back. You call me. It's like, wow.
I don't like texting.
I know, but you still call me. That's a big thing. To me, that's a big thing. You know, I don't know. Spike, what about, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it's a personal, you know, it's a relationship. You're about relationships. So this podcast, whatever we name it, guys, we need to figure out a name of this thing. We've thrown around some names. Spike actually likes one name that we've already used. What do you like, Spike?
Nate's Take.
Nate's Take. We've already done it. So, yeah. But Can I get my name somewhere in there?
Where's your
Can
name
we put
in
it? Yeah, I know.
The fact that Spike's done pretty well for
Yeah.
himself over the years, we should probably listen to that.
Yeah. But somewhere, I'd like my name, at least
And
somewhere,
Vince,
pictures.
too,
And
underneath
Vince,
it.
too, yeah.
Well, I mean, you're the producer. You're producing
Okay,
it, so
all
you
right.
get that.
All right. So, Mike, thanks for joining us. We'll circle back with you in a couple weeks.
You got it. Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, Mike, even though Vince doesn't like you, I like you. So.
Thanks, Nate. I appreciate that.
He's going to carry that with him till his grave. All right. Guys, thanks again for joining us here on the Varsity Sports Show. I want to spend a special thank you to Spike Lawrence, who just for accommodating us. This is amazing. Guys, come on out to Bottle and Bean. It's located on literally the corner of Queen Creek and Dobson and Queen Creek down here in South Chandler. It's a beautiful location. You got a panoramic view of the valley. Nathan Leduc. Nathan, thanks so much. Thanks for being my friend all these years. Man.
Thank you, Vince.
Oh, yeah. So, guys, keep listening. Ed and Javon are up next on Easy Sports. Thanks again. Aaron, thanks for all your work, and have a great week. Go Varsity. Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming. The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.